Toastmaster Krishna, the sword and scabbard. The sword and scabbard, Toastmaster Krishna.
Thank you, Dipanji. Reading, experiences, even advice, they don't really mean anything if sufficient time is not taken to reflect on them or to absorb them. I learned this lesson the hard way. As a child and as a student in the Indian educational system, I was exposed to stories of our independence. We rose up, we fought the empire, we achieved our independence. Inevitably, those stories would be centered around Gandhi. Non-violence, ahimsa, truth, turn the other cheek. Seemed very easy at the time. Blessed are those who are meek, for they shall inherit the earth. I interpreted these teachings completely incorrectly. Because what did I do? No, I'm not going to fight you. We may have a disagreement. I'm just turning the other cheek. Hit me, walk away. I'm not fighting you. I don't agree with you, but you know what? You may have a reason for it. I'm not going to argue with you. Oh, all of you are saying this person is wrong. Okay, I'm also going to be very brave and say, yes, you are wrong. What a disaster. When I was 18, the greatest defeat I've ever experienced, I was on a debate, and I call this the greatest defeat because this was the start for my journey. My competitor, who won for an amazing reason and an amazing debate, he said this during his speech. Any information that is passed on to us when we're reading a book, when we're talking to someone, when we're trying to learn something, most of it is secondhand information. So someone has experienced something, they note that experience, write it in a book. We understand their perspective on the experience. And in a lot of examples, we also are understanding their experience in a different language. In my case, English. People experience it in a different language, translated it into a different book. The words are different. Our interpretations of that words are different. What does that mean? A cursory, high-level, superficial understanding of anything can have disastrous consequences, which is what happened to me. This created an ear hole in my brain because for a long time, I couldn't get that thought out of my head. I ran, opened up a computer, and actually Googled the exact text, started with the beginnings. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. A number of results popped up. One of them was the actual Hebrew sentence. Below it was an explanation. And I'm summarizing here. The author said that that particular sentence could be read as, blessed are those who know how to use a sword. Blessed are those who know how to use a sword, but have the wisdom to know when to keep it sheathed, for they will inherit the world. I'll say that again. Blessed are those who know how to wield a sword, but have the wisdom to keep it sheathed, for they shall inherit the world. This was the first piece of the jigsaw puzzle. I had abandoned Gandhi. I just thought Gandhi's wrong. This is not the way to live. I can't just keep turning the other cheek. I decided, okay, let's assume I don't know anything about Gandhi. I've never heard of him. Let me attack it from the basics. I opened his text again. Within it, and I imagined I've never heard of him. I have no idea who Gandhi is. So complete, open, fresh mind. Within it was this gem. Gandhi says, if I had to choose between cowardice and violence, I would choose violence 1,000 times if it meant to save a race from emasculation. Gandhi says, abstinence of violence is a path to forgiveness and leadership only if it comes from the power to punish. Abstinence is cowardice when it comes from a place of weakness. Another piece of the jigsaw puzzle came into place for me. This was the start of my journey. These revelations made me want to work on myself in a completely different way, shed my skin, not have any other scapegoats except myself. I worked on myself. And I'm still working today. I made myself physically more imposing. I learned how to fight, not be scared of physical confrontation. Learn to stand my own ground. Change my opinions if required, but only if I'm convinced, not because I was scared. I realized I was developing a temper. I immediately took a step back because everyone says, right, having a temper is a very dangerous thing. Don't have a temper. But this time I paused to reflect on it. My opinion on the matter is having a temper is not wrong. Holding on to that anger, that's what's wrong. Sometimes you are going to need a temper. You are going to need to react to a situation. But holding on to that anger and letting that consume you, that's what's wrong. You know what was wonderful? I wrote this speech about 2 weeks ago, and I was still working on it. And 2 weeks ago, to the day, another Toastmaster actually got up and gave a speech. He shared his own personal experience about when he was confronted, and he could have confronted right back. But he did the exact same thing. He sheathed the sword and used that to work on his own leadership skills. That convinced me that maybe I'm onto something here. And as a part of this journey with Toastmasters, this is an aspect of leadership I would like to explore. The human race, all of us human beings, we are a very surprising creature because we are the only creature on this planet who's capable of intentional malice. Intentional malice. A lion doesn't kill you because it wants to hurt you. A lion kills you because it's hungry. We intentionally can hurt. We know how to hurt and we will hurt. And there are many such people in the world. To fight them requires strength. It's my belief that the first angle of that strength is to be equally dangerous to that person. The second angle to that strength is to have the wisdom of when to use that danger. Keep your sword sheathed. Know when to draw, know when to sheath. Then you'll inherit the world. Thank you.